No! Hey guys, Cadin here, and if you want to go ahead and click off the video, then please be my guest, because you already have the answer you were looking for. But to those who do want to stick around, first off, thank you. And secondly, this video is mainly going to be discussing the balance hotfix that happened on March 30th, that being today, the day that I'm recording this. And we're going to be discussing the overall positive changes that came with this hotfix, albeit not enough. Okay, so coming from a tweet that Epic made earlier today, we've made some meaningful changes to the following items. Combat and Stinger SMG damage to players and structures reduced. Combat SMG headshot damage reduced to match the Stinger. Mark 7 and Combat AR damage to players and structures reduced ahead of donation board voting. Now, if you want to hear me say the actual things that changed, get ready, because I'm going to be saying a lot of numbers. Alright, so first off, the Combat SMG had its damage reduced from 24, 23, 22, 21, and 20 to 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, and the headshot multiplier was reduced from 2 to 1.75. The Stinger SMG had its damage reduced from 22, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, and by the way, this is including the mythic rarity, to 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and the build damage was reduced from 30, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24 to 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. The Combat AR had its damage reduced from 25, 24, 23, 22, and 21 to 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. The Mark 7 had its damage reduced from 24, 23, 22, 21, 20 to 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, and its build damage reduced from 22, 21, 20, 19, 18 to 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. These changes brought with this update were overall rather positive in the sense that they did nerf weapons that needed to be nerfed, however, as I mentioned previously, not enough. Let's go over what they did do that was positive. So now, in my opinion, the Stinger SMG is now in a somewhat balanced state, if you can really believe it. It's not really like as prevalent as it was during the last season, especially not now with the fucking combat that is still running rampant after its nerfs. But I feel like if this were to just stand alone, it would not nearly be as oppressive as it used to be. Additionally, the Combat SMG can no longer 5-shot with all rarities against somebody who has no shield, and consequentially somebody who has full shield, it can no longer 10-shot with every single rarity. Unfortunately, that's all I have to say for the positive changes, so let's go ahead and get on to the negatives. The first thing is Epic actually lied to us with, them saying that they made the headshot multiplier of the combat more in line with the Stinger. Now you see, most people would assume that they made it the same headshot multiplier, but no, it's actually the combat still has a better headshot multi than the Stinger, being 1.75, and the Stinger only being 1.5. So it's still better in every single way than the Stinger, but thus making the Stinger even more useless than it already was at the beginning of the season, albeit balanced, useless. Not only that, they didn't even nerf what makes the Combat SMG OP, which in my opinion being the fire rate, the range, and the fact that it has first shot accuracy. Those are the three dominant things that I believe make this gun what it is. I mean, obviously the damage stats were very, very strong, but there's only so much damage can do if you don't have good fire rate or accuracy or range. So these are like the three dominant things, in my opinion, that determine whether or not a weapon can be good. As for suggestions that I have that Epic should try to do, in my opinion, they should honestly keep the Stinger as it is. If they were to nerf the Stinger again, I do believe that it should receive only a range nerf, so that it is not as far range as it currently is. Both the Combat and Stinger have an effective range of 40 meters, and I think that is just ridiculous for something that's supposed to be a submachine gun, that's supposed to be good in close range primarily and only. Now for the Combat SMG, I have quite a few pitches that I have to attempt to nerf this weapon, so first off, obviously we're going to be nerfing the three main things that I talked about, the fire rate, the range, and the accuracy. So I would like to see the fire rate go down from 12 to 10.5. I want the range to go from 40 meters to 30 meters. and I just want it to not have first shot accuracy. These changes that I am proposing will hopefully make the weapon not nearly as oppressive as it is right now, while still maintaining its status as a unique, longer-ranged submachine gun. For the remainder of the video, I'm going to be talking about my stance on the Mark 7 versus combat AR debate, so let's go ahead and get into that. To be completely fair, I feel like there's no real need to debate this because we all know what's going to be winning the vote, but I figured I'd go ahead and give where I stand on it anyway. So, I'll go ahead and discuss what each weapon has over the other. So, the Mark 7, obviously you guys know that it has the first-person sight, therefore making it much easier to aim, and additionally, it also has lower recoil than the combat. Now, in contrast to that, the combat has higher damage, and also better hip fire, so you can use it more effectively at close ranges. Personally, for my own enjoyment, I'm going to be voting for the combat AR because I just like being able to have a sense of pride and accomplishment with being able to use hard-to-control weapons effectively, and I guess we'll see what everybody else votes for. MK7. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya.